Authorities have cut internet services a day after 39 people were killed in anti-government protests. Violence broke out between police and students in several locations around the capital, Dhaka. The students are demanding reforms to quotas for government jobs. At least 1,500 people have been injured in the past week. Demonstrators are calling for a complete shutdown of the country. Okay, well, let's take a closer look at that quota system at the heart of these protests. It was established in 1972 to help those who fought in the war for independence. Today, 30% of government positions are reserved for their children. Another 26% are for women, disabled people, ethnic minorities and people from disadvantaged areas. Now, each year, nearly 400,000 graduates compete for 3,000 positions. But critics say the system sometimes excludes qualified applicants and leaves positions unfilled. Tanvir Chowdhury has the latest from Dhaka.
The situation remains very volatile and intense in Bangladesh. There's reports of clashes all across the country, including in several locations in Bangladesh. Just behind me, just a few blocks away, there's clashes going on. We can hear sound grenades, we can hear shotgun fires, tear gas shells lobbed, and the protesters are not giving in. Certain areas are still blocked by the students. Government has deployed paramilitary Bangladesh border guards all across the country. The worst situation is there's total communication blackout. There's no internet, no access to social media. We spoke to the internet companies and they said, look, we've been ordered to shut down the gateways. That's why you don't have access. The government, on the other hand, is saying the building that houses the main servers for the internet gateways were damaged due to fire. But that's not what the internet service companies are telling us off the record. They're saying we can't tell our name, but this is the case. This is to stop the students and demonstrators to mobilize themselves and to post so many graphic videos and social medias, which is really instigating a lot of people to come out in the streets. And that has been stopped. People can't do banking transaction and ATM machine because there is no internet access. And the government is still compromising. They said we are ready to sit down and discuss about the quota. They said that the Supreme Court special branch will have a hearing this Sunday and they'll have come to some conclusion. The government said we're willing to open up 80% to the general students to compete in the exams and leave 20% as a quota, but the student leaders are now saying it's too late and the ground and atmosphere for discussion with the government is no longer there because so many of our colleagues, students have died and killed and taken to hospitals. This is not the time to sit down with the government. So the situation remains still volatile and it's increasingly taking a different dimension also. The opposition called out a mass procession all across the country, and the protest rallies we went to, a lot of the people are actual common people, the people who are working as a rickshaw puller, shopkeepers, they're even taking participation in this demonstration. There's increasing frustration due to high inflation, soaring food prices. Many people are frustrated. They said this election was rigged in January this year. So there are a lot of pent-up frustration coming out in the streets along with the student protests. And it probably will continue, so there's no sign of real compromise or discussion as of yet. And the students say they'll stay in the street and keep protesting.
Well, former American President Donald Trump has made